the stream, everyone. My name's Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome. Oh, boy, very exciting. We got a Trump rally coming up in a couple hours. I'm really excited about that. When's the last time we had a Trump rally? You know, it's so good to have them, and, you know, and it's exciting because this Trump rally that we're going to have in Pennsylvania tonight, this is the first of the regular Trump rally being back, right? You got your MAGA hat. You can't watch a Trump rally without your Make America Great Again hat on. But, you know, Susie Wiles said, I played the audio on the program this morning, that they're going to treat the midterm elections like a presidential election year. And there's going to be rallies all the time throughout the whole year. It's going to be like Trump's running for president again, and this is the first one, and it's pretty exciting, isn't it? Absolutely. I'm looking at the presidential daily schedule, which you can get online. If you just Google presidential daily schedule, it comes up. It's at roll call. So it's at 6:10 p.m. This is the official schedule. 6:10 p.m. I mean, things are tight for him. Look at this. At 3:33 p.m., the president arrives at the vice presidential residence at the U.S. Naval Observatory. But then at 6:10 p.m., the president delivers remarks on the economy in Pennsylvania. That's right. And, you know, I was talking this morning that my wife bought steaks, and we got them for 35% off at the regular grocery store through DoorDash, right? So that was a good deal. And my car was low on gas today. And this is a first, okay? I filled my car up, and it took less than $30 to fill up my car. Gas prices are low. I don't pay too much attention to gas prices because they are what they are. And you've got no choice but to buy the gas, right? So I don't pay a lot of attention to gas prices. But when I saw that, so I'm filling up, and then when it's done, I looked up, it was $29 and something cents. And I thought, well, wait a minute, it's not done. It must have just clicked off early. You know, I had the thing click. So, and it was full. And I was like, wow, less than $30 to fill up my tank. Holy smokes, that is, thank you, Trump. Pretty awesome stuff. But the economy, welcome everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. You know, Adam Carolla was talking the other day, and he made a very good point, Adam Carolla. He says, Democrats cause complete chaos, destroy everything, mess everything up, and then when someone comes in to fix all of their screw-ups, they blame the fixer for all the problems that they created. It's very true. But prices are coming down. Got the steaks for 35% off, less than $30 to fill up my wife's car with gas. I mean, that is amazing. I cannot tell you the last time it cost me so little to buy gas. I mean, it's amazing. So that's great. You know, when the prices come down, it's like getting a pay raise, isn't it? Your money's going farther, and that's, of course, because of President Trump. Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. So we're going to have our Trump rally. It says the official schedule, 6:10 p.m. I'll be watching it. I'll probably be watching it on right side. Where do you guys watch your Trump rallies? I usually watch them on right side. Oh yeah, this is exciting. I mean, this is great, and we're going to have a year of Trump rallies all over the country. That we'll have multiple rallies a week, and I wouldn't be surprised at some of the rallies next year if he signs legislation and executive orders on stage at a rally. That would be pretty cool. I'd like that, or maybe even bring some foreign dignitaries so they can see what America is all about. I wanted to share a few things, though, while we're here. Listen to this. The DEA just released some information. Listen to this.
Encouraging sign in the fight against fentanyl. The DEA says pills seized by their agents.
Yeah, well, let me rewind it. Let me turn that up.
Encouraging sign in the fight against fentanyl. The DEA says pills seized by their agents are seeing a dramatic decline in potency. And President Trump may be the one to thank for that. Our Fox News senior correspondent Alicia
That's something.
has got more. She's in Denver now. And Alicia, these are some staggering reductions.
Yeah.
John, this is jaw-dropping data from the Drug Enforcement Administration. National lab test results on illegal fentanyl pills show a drop in the lethal potency of pills on the street from 76% 2 years ago to 29% today. The DEA says it's because the Trump administration is all hands on deck.
We are targeting the global supply network of precursor chemicals that go from China into Mexico.
Hear that?
And if we can impact that supply making its way to the Mexican cartels, there's less precursor chemicals available for them to make this product.
The DEA
Wow,
says
this is
the cartels
huge.
are being forced to dilute their product and even charge more per pill. They credit the administration for hitting the illicit drug trade from every direction.
While DEA is focused on the enforcement aspects of the drug trafficking world, there's also other aspects with the administration. It's not my area of expertise, where there's diplomatic efforts by our State Department, the White House, engaging with China on this topic.
Add to this, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol reports fentanyl seizures at the southern border are down by more than 50%. Colorado is one of the top 3 states in the nation with the highest amount of seizures. One example you see in this body cam video where the Douglas County Sheriff's Department recently was alerted to a storage facility where they found 1.7 million fentanyl pills.
Okay. So the main story is the DEA says the few fentanyl pills they are seizing these days, because they're in short supply, are a lot less potent. And it's all because of Trump, right? They're cutting off from China the chemicals to make fentanyl coming into Latin America and into this country. And they're blowing up the drug boats that are loaded with barrels of fentanyl. They've closed down the southern border. There's so little fentanyl in the materials to make the pills that the pill potency has gone down. So people that are fentanyl addicts, they're getting weaned off. President Trump has a major drug rehab program going on in this country, right? The drug addicts are getting weaned off of their drugs, right? This is great. This is great news. It's huge. Yeah. You know, you got to wonder if all of our presidents were even close to what Trump was. How few problems would this country have? We'd be a perfect country. The crack epidemic and powder cocaine epidemic of the 80s and 70s, that would have been handled. I mean, the fentanyl, we thought it was impossible, right? Because they're little tiny pills to stop the fentanyl crisis, and President Trump has done it. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, my name's Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe. And just waiting for the Trump rally is going to be in about 90 minutes. So I'm pretty excited about that. You know, I saw this. There was this trend on X earlier, and I retweeted it. Listen to this. Liberals. ICE data shows 75,000 arrests without criminal records of the Trump deportations. Other than the fact that they're in the country illegally, yeah, I mean, give me a freaking break. They're in the country illegally. They're federal fugitives. I mean, you know what? I love how they act like, oh, these are just, you know, normal people. They're not criminals. They're all criminal because they're illegal aliens. I mean, by definition, they are they're criminal. I don't, you know, for the life of me, I'll never understand how the left process any of these things. Will you? I'll never understand it. And you know what? We're never going to understand the Democrats. The Democrats are basically mental patients. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, there's no other way to get around it, is there? But there was a big arrest today. Actually, a couple of arrests. New Jersey twins. Did you see this? This is from Fox. It's all over the place. New Jersey twins charged in threats to kill Department of Homeland Security official and shoot ICE on sight. New Jersey suspects allegedly posted medieval torture threats against the Assistant Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. 2 New Jersey brothers were arrested Tuesday on charges tied to terroristic threats against Department of Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem's top public deputy, including vows to shoot ICE on sight. One brother faces unlawful weapons possession charges. The arrests come among an 8,000% increase in death threats against immigration and customs enforcement. This one was pretty bad, okay? What they were threatening to do is so bad, I'm not even going to share, but they were talking about torturing her and doing all kinds of things. You know, and this story, it's out there. It's a lead story on Fox, but the rest of the media aren't really covering it because, you know, like with the pipe bomber, if the media, they have their narrative, right? Their narrative is what it is, and if something doesn't fit their narrative, no matter what, they're not going to report it. Or if they're embarrassed into reporting it, they're going to have it as a sideline story that, goes by the wayside as if it's not important. But this one is crazy. Ricardo Antonio Roman Flores and Emilio Roman Flores, twins from New Jersey. Do those sound like Jersey boys? Ricardo Antonio Roman Flores, Emilio Roman Flores. Do those sound like Jersey boys to you? Not to me, but that's how they're described in the news accounts. They sound like really, really bad guys. They really do. Jersey boys, just like the Maryland man. I tell you what, they can't call this what it is ever, right? Welcome, hey Joy, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Are you guys excited about the Trump rally tonight? 6:10 is the scheduled time. I'm excited. Is it 6:10? Let me make sure. Yep, 6:10 is on the president's official schedule. And it's on the economy. So you know he's going to go through all the great things. When it cost me less than $30 to fill my wife's car up today, I mean, that was so great. I mean, it was almost like I felt like I was getting the gas for free almost, right? It's a lot less than it normally is. Steaks 35% off this week. Less than $30 to fill up my car. I mean, I feel like I won the lottery. It's great. The economy is coming back. Trump is fixing everything. Deal with it. Sorry, Sorry, Democrats are losers, man. I tell you, they're losers. Have you seen this business that's been going on with Candace Owens today? Candace Owens has yet another Charlie Kirk assassination conspiracy theory. Have you heard this one? Let me pull this one out. Let me see here. I'm not sure if I'm going to play the audio. I might just read you the story. Candace Owens, okay, this is in Mediaite. Listen to this. Candace Owens, after already throwing a number of suspected culprits out there in recent months, she said she has finally cracked the mystery behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk. She says it involves the U.S. military. Candace Owens said in a series of posts on Instagram today, she is ready to blow the case open based on a tip she received from a service member the night before. Owens wrote, "It feels like today will be the day that the government can no longer deny it. Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Our military was involved. I can't wait to share this information with you guys today." So, what I wonder about this, because, I mean, that's just absurd. Candace Owens has more than 5.6 million YouTube subs. Her podcast is ranked 10th on Spotify. She said this scoop of the military involvement in the assassination of Charlie Kirk came hours after she went to church and prayed for the final piece to be revealed. Her prayer was immediately answered, she said, and the first email she saw in her tip inbox right before going to sleep. Here's the thing with Candace Owens, and you guys can let me know in the chat, yes or no. Does Candace Owens believe this crazy stuff, or is she just clickbaiting, right? Does she actually believe it, yes or no? If she believes it, she's nuts. Yes or no, does Candace Owens believe all this nonsense that she comes up with? She was talking about Egypt, Mossad, Turning Point behind it, now the military. Do you think she believes it? Because if she believes it, she's nuts. Could be both. Yeah, don't be a fence sitter. Yes, most people are saying yes. So that means you think she's nuts. I wonder if she was always nuts. She seems crazier than, I mean, just totally nuts to me. Crazier than anybody out there. She wants attention. That's true. She definitely wants attention. Yeah, she definitely wants attention. That's very true. But if you say she wants attention, that doesn't mean that she doesn't believe. Do you think she believes this crap, or is she just throwing anything out there for the attention? It's hard to tell. I think she believes it. And the reason is she's thrown so many different nutty theories out there, right? That if she didn't believe it, she wouldn't throw so many nutty theories out there. She'd be worried about blowing her credibility as a journalist. So I think she's nuts and believes it. In my view. I mean, that's just, I could be wrong, but I think she believes all of it. I think she is completely whacked out. And I also think it's creepy that she keeps all these text messages from years ago of Charlie's. I mean, that's just nuts. The president gave an interview with Politico. Here he is talking about Obamacare and insurance.
Obamacare was set up for insurance companies to become rich, okay? That was why they, in my opinion, I think the Democrats did it for that reason. Do you know that insurance company stocks have gone up 16, 17, 1,800% over a short period of time?
That's right.
They've been paid not billions, trillions of dollars. And what I'm saying is very simple. I don't want to pay them anything. No money for the insurance companies. Sorry, fellas, I know them all. No money for the insurance companies. I want to pay the money directly to the people and let the people get their own health care. But you know who's fighting me in that? The Democrats.
Okay. Yeah, the insurance, he's right. He's so right. Well, President Trump's always right, isn't he? But he's so right about the insurance companies. The insurance companies gave us Obamacare. They pushed it through. And they got greedy. And, excuse me, guys. Yeah, we're just over an hour away from the Trump rally in Pennsylvania. The insurance companies got very greedy. Obama passed a law requiring people to buy what they're selling. I mean, think about it. If you owned a Dodge dealership, and they passed a law making it a law that everyone had to own a Dodge, you'd be pretty excited, wouldn't you? Well, that's what he did. And it's now federal law that people have to buy our product, and the insurance company screwed it up. And the reason that I do not have insurance is because of Obamacare. I remember when Obamacare passed, I immediately got a letter in the mail. My daughter was young then, right? She was a little kid. She's a grown woman now, but we immediately got a letter that our daughter's insurance premium was going up quite a bit, over $100 a month. That was immediately. And that's just the way it is. I mean, what are you supposed to do? They've been ripping us off. And, Trump will take care of it. He understands about health insurance because he's had so many employees working for him over the years. He knows what individual health insurance cost and what a burden that can be on regular, everyday Americans. It's one of the things he really understands us because he had so many, he still does have a lot of employees that work for him. So he understands these things more than anyone else. Marjorie, did you guys see Marjorie Taylor Greene on CNN today? She was just disgusting. I got a few clips of her. Here's one.
Can you tell us anything more about what he said, though, when you told him about
He is President Trump. You know, they can't hardly say his name. The president whose name shall not be mentioned.
Can you tell us anything more about what he said, though, when you told him about the death threats? Because I think that's telling.
I don't want to, at this time, directly repeat his words, but I can tell you in nature, I literally was shocked that he was so unkind and accusatory.
Wow. So she said she talked to the president, told him that she got death threats, and he was nasty to her about it. What a jerk.
Can you tell us anything more about what he said?
Marjorie Taylor Greene is such a jerk. I mean, what a traitor she is, right? What a traitor she is.
Oh, when you told him about the death threats, because I think that's telling.
I don't want to, at this time, directly repeat his words, but I can tell you in nature, I literally was shocked that he was so unkind and accusatory. There were other things that shocked me, though. I sent those same death threats to his chief of staff, Susie Wiles, and his deputy chief of staff, James Blair. They didn't even reply to me. And I would have expected at least Susie Wiles, who's a woman, a mother, a grandmother, I would have expected her to have said, this is unacceptable, we'll send it to Kash Patel.
See, I mean, you know, she's pestering them all the time. You know, they're running the country, you know, running the world, and she wants to have like regular, everyday interaction with the president and Susie Wiles.
You know, something of that nature will make sure your family's safe. I would have expected those responses, not for them to take sides in any way. I understand they were
J.D. Vance did respond, right?
J.D. Vance, I give a lot of credit to. He was very kind and caring about that. And I did send to Kash Patel, and he said on it.
Okay.
On it. Okay, well, let's find out what they find out. You know, here's another clip. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene on CNN today.
When I hear him talk like that about you and insult you and attack you like that, I worry about your security and your family's security. And you've been getting some increasing threats, right?
All of a sudden, CNN's concerned about Marjorie Taylor Greene. All of a sudden. Is she angling for a job on The View or to be a pundit on CNN?
When I hear him talk like that about you and insult you and attack you like that, I worry about your security and your family's security. And you've been getting some increasing threats, right?
Yes, and that's what I take so seriously. As a Christian, I'm not angry at the president. It's easy for me to say a prayer for him and forgive him.
You know, this thing that she's acting like she's the only true conservative. She's leaving Congress. She's leaving because she's the real MAGA, not President Trump. And she's not going to stand around with these people that aren't MAGA anymore. What a dishonest creep Marjorie Taylor Greene is.
But the part that I have had a very hard time with is the fact that he called me a traitor.
That's right.
And because of his words, that brought serious threats against myself and my family. We had a pipe bomb threat on my home, a pipe bomb threat on my family construction company and staff, and had multiple pizza doxings. But the serious one was the direct death threats on my son. And I think that goes beyond anyone's arguments or disagreements or politics. All of our children and our family's safety should matter to anyone, no matter if they're mad at us or disagree with us. I think that should be something we respect.
You know, she's a creep. She's just a creep. What she's doing is she's very vague on everything, on what the president said, what this was, very vague. So I don't believe much of what she says. Tell you that. Do you guys believe her, what she says? I don't believe much of what she says. Here she is again. Listen to this. This is Yeah, exactly. My wife just said, how many threats does Trump get? Yeah, exactly. And they actually shot him.
To be precise.
He couldn't even have his inauguration outside because of it.
To be precise. In addition to what we just heard there, President Trump posted yesterday that you are, quote, and I'm quoting him now, not America first or MAGA, and your, quote, new views are those of a very dumb person. That's the president of the United States
right.
speaking about your.
He's right.
Speaking about you. What's your response to these latest attacks?
Well, actually, Wolf, I feel very sorry for President Trump.
Oh, really? Oh, my goodness. She feels sorry for him? What a terrible person.
States speaking about you. What's your response to these latest attacks?
Well, actually, Wolf, I feel very sorry for.
You know, by the way, when Blitzer said that all of a sudden he's concerned about Marjorie Taylor Greene's safety, the whole liberal media, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, they still, even today, blame him for his own assassination, right? Well, he said those things. But now, you know, these people are out of their minds.
Of the United States speaking about you. What's your response to these latest attacks?
Well, actually, Wolf, I feel very sorry for President Trump. I genuinely do. It has to be a hard place for someone that is constantly so hateful and puts so much vitriol, name calling, and really tells lies about people in order to try to get his way or win some kind of fight. And I think that's exactly what's wrong in America today.
What's wrong with America is Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene just said. Let me rewind that. That's what she said. She said, what's wrong with America is Trump, is what Marjorie Taylor Greene just said. Why doesn't she resign now? Oh, yeah, she can't resign now. She has to stay to get that pension next month.
It has to be a hard place for someone that is constantly so hateful and puts so much vitriol, name calling, and really tells lies about people in order to try to get his way or win some kind of fight. And I think that's exactly what's wrong in America today. That's what's wrong in this toxic political environment that has ripped our country apart. And I personally think that that's poor leadership from a president. It's a very bad demeanor, and Americans are very tired of it.
She's really bad. She's really bad. I mean, there's just, yeah, she's the worst. You know, the way she's talking, was she ever MAGA? Was she pretending the whole time? What do you guys think? Was Marjorie Taylor Greene fake MAGA? Well, let me rephrase the question. Listening to how she talks now, you know, was Marjorie Taylor Greene ever really MAGA? Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that Marjorie Taylor Greene has a job lined up already? What do you think? Do you think she's got a job lined up already? She's a turncoat. So she was MAGA? Rhino? Mm-hmm. It's hard to tell, but the way she's talking about President Trump, she said he's the problem. Well, what they're doing right now is using her because she was a Trump insider and she's out there betraying him and trashing him. So they're going to like that. But after the election's over, they'll be done with her, if even that long. Yeah, the rally, we've got the Trump, make sure it's at 6:10. The president will be delivering remarks on the economy in Pennsylvania at 6:10. That's on his official schedule. Mm-hmm. She's worse than Liz Cheney because she was trusted by Trump, elevated by the president, right? So, you know, she was on the MAGA train, the Trump train, and she was very much an insider. So she's worse than Liz Cheney in that, you know, Liz Cheney was always against President Trump. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe, okay? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I'm not going to play this whole thing, but Tim Pool just lost his mind.
To call her out. Candace Owens is a fucking...
Okay. I'm not going to play anymore, but you hear that tone? You know, I don't know what is up with Tim Pool. He went on this very angry rant. He said a lot of things that were very inappropriate about Candace Owens. I'm not going to tell you what they were because then I'd be saying the inappropriate things. And I don't mean the name calling. He called her some really bad names. I mean bad ones that I'm not going to say. They're here. I'm not going to play them. They're that bad. But it wasn't the name calling I'm talking about. He said in some things that were very inappropriate and irresponsible. And I don't know if he's looking for publicity. I don't know. It seems that, you know, there's this clique of influencers. I don't know how many there are, maybe about a dozen, you know, and they've got this clique, you know, that are at like the Tim Pool, Candace Owens level, you know. And it seems to me most of what they talk about is either themselves, one of the clique, or what somebody's saying about them. They don't even really talk about the issues. They talk about what people are saying about them, what people want to do to them, you know, or they're attacking each other. There's very little content with them. I mean, if I sat around and just talked about what people said about me all day, you guys would think I was a narcissist, right? And you'd be right. That's all they do. But yeah, they just talk about each other round and round and round. And I'm not sure what it is. Is it self-importance? Is it narcissism? Is it an obsession with views and clicks and shares? I don't know. It could be a combination of them, but there's just no content. You know, I mean, you can. This. I'm not going to tell you what he said, and I don't mean the names. He called her the C word, which is a very bad word for a man to use about another woman. He called her another bad name. He said some things that are worse than the names. You know, and this anyone, yeah, and with the level of anger that in his voice, it was really over the top. You know, and there's a lot of people talking about it. He called her a piece of something. You can figure out what the something is. I mean, it was just. I'm not even going to play it. It's on my X. I did share it on my X, but I'm not going to play it here. I mean, it's just, and he was screaming at the top of his lungs when he was doing it, and it just did not make sense. But now what'll happen is she'll respond to him because that's what she does. And if she really wanted to get to him, she would have. She would put if she wanted to get back. You know how she could get back at Tim Pool? What do you think she could do to freak out Tim Pool, to push his buttons? It's pretty simple. There's two things she could do. She could, and they both involve photographs. Have a photograph behind her when she's on her show talking about him, with his hat off, so people can see his bald head. And there's not a lot of photographs of that. But, you know, she'll have a photograph behind her of him without his cap on so people can see his bald head. And if she or somebody she knows has a picture with him side by side, put the picture on the other side so people can see how short he is, because he's really short. And that would definitely drive him up the wall. But then she'll respond to him because she wants to get the views from the Tim Pool people, you know. But to say the things he said about a woman, I'm surprised there hasn't been more outrage about it. But, you know, one of the things, though, is he's taking credit for calling out Candace Owens. I was calling Candace Owens out from the beginning of her crap before anybody else, okay? And, of course, he's, you know, taking credit for that. But I've been calling her out since she started all this crap. She's nuts. And, you know, what I told people about Candace and all this craziness. You know, when people go down these rabbit holes of craziness, they come up with more outrageous conspiracy theories all the time to keep up with what they're doing, and eventually that catches up. And it's kind of it's catching up to her now. Like now she's saying that the U.S. military is behind the Charlie Kirk assassination. I mean, she's saying things now because she's desperate. She's running out of things to make up that are just too outrageous. I mean, I could play what he said, but what he said is just so over the line. I'm not going to play it, but it's pretty bad. So was it? If Tim really wants views, pod beanieless. Yes, that's right. podcast without the thing on. Go bald. Yeah. I feel bad for guys that lost my hair. You know, I have so much hair. I haven't lost a hair on my head. Candace influences Tatum. I don't know about that. Officer Tatum, the syndicator behind Officer Tatum was the same people that were behind Charlie Kirk's show and podcast, his podcast and radio show. So it looks like they're putting everything behind Officer Tatum since they don't have Charlie anymore. You know, it's what it kind of seems like. She's worse than Tucker? Absolutely. Here's President Trump talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is in the Politico interview.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, or some people call it Taylor Greene.
Let me rewind it. Here we go.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, or some people call it Taylor Greene. Some people call her Taylor Brown, because green sometimes turns to brown, which isn't nice. But I've watched her say that he spends too much time on foreign. Well, by doing that, and first of all, it doesn't take a lot of time. I made one trip. I brought back trillions of dollars on that one trip. I stopped in Japan. I stopped in South Korea. I met with President Xi and ended.
You went to the Middle East. I was on that trip with you.
Went to the Middle East. I brought back $3 trillion from the Middle East. I sold many Boeing airplanes on that trip, like 300. When I go on a trip, I only have one place in mind. It's the United States. So when, people with low IQs like Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's a low IQ person. When she says it's too, but she was a loyal person until I wasn't able to answer her phone calls because I'm just too busy to answer people's phone calls. You can't call me 3 times a day. And it's just, not appropriate when I have, over 200 congressmen, 53 senators, 212 countries. All of these people are calling, and a family. Actually, the family suffers. It's harder for me to call back the family. But when you think of what I've done, remember rare earth and the problem with magnets and all of these things that was going to shut down the whole world. I worked it out with President Xi. We have a good relationship. I worked it out with President Xi.
So
very favorable to the United States.
Does come back to the economy
Wait a
in the
minute.
U.S., right?
You made a statement, though, that I devote too much time to outside of the United States. I've made a fortune for the United States by focusing on things.
To be clear, that's
outside.
not my statement. That's just what some of your supporters and some others have said.
Well, then, I can't imagine their supporters because I made a fortune and spent very little time. All of my time is spent here. Most of my time is spent here.
Yeah, that's right. Give me a break. Let's see. Oh, here's President Trump. This is Politico. He's talking about Ilhan Omar and the Somalis.
Kind of immigrants that you do want to see in America?
They certainly contribute. Yeah, I want to see people. Yeah, I want to see people that contribute. I don't want to see Somalia. I don't want to see a woman that marries her brother to get in and then becomes a congressman, does nothing but complain. All she does is complain, and yet her country's a mess. It's one of the worst in the world. Let her go back, fix up her own country. Somalia, yeah, and I was right about it. I started complaining about Somalia long before the scandal. The horrible things they're doing to Minnesota, it's incredible. They have an incompetent governor there, too. The Democrats are running some bad ships.
Speaking of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. No doubt about it. Things are not going well for the other side. They really are not. I played this clip this morning. This one cracks me up. This is Michelle Obama on a podcast interview. Listen to this.
People line up for my advice, and you're walking away like I'm stupid. It's like, I've written books. I've given speeches.
Do you think people really go to Michelle Obama for advice? Or are they just kissing her butt, pretending to want advice? And then here she is. She's upset that they don't take her advice. And she said she's written books. Do you think she's really written books, Michelle Obama? Or were they ghost written?
People line up for my advice. And you're walking away like I'm stupid. It's like, I've written books.
What do you guys think? Did Michelle Obama write her books, or were they ghost written? Of course they were ghost written. Oh my goodness. Unreal. Michelle Obama. You know, what is she doing? Michelle Obama. She's running around like she's some kind of celebrity or something, right? Let's see here. Oh, this is the Democrats' candidate for the Senate seat in Texas, Jasmine Crockett.
It's because you can then misuse words like oppression. There has been no oppression for the white man in this country. You tell me which white men were dragged out of their homes. You tell me.
Reginald Denny got dragged out of his truck and beaten in the head by Damian Williams.
Which one of them got dragged all the way across an ocean and told that you are going to go at work?
No one's been dragged across the ocean and been forced to work that's in the Congress. However, they've been dragging illegals from the southern border and all over the world into the country to work here, right?
We are going to steal your wives. We are going to rape your wives. That didn't happen. That is oppression. We didn't ask to be here. We're not the same migrants that y'all constantly come up against. We didn't run away from home. We were stolen. So yeah, we are going to sit here and be offended when you want to sit here and act like, and don't let it escape you that it is white men on this side of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, that y'all are the ones being oppressed, that y'all are the ones that are being harmed.
Okay, now see, Jasmine Crockett's got a lot of problems in this Senate race, okay? But here's one of them. Talking like that plays well in her specially designed district with only black people in it. Now that she wants to run statewide and she needs people that are white to vote for her, that's not going to play too well. So how is she going to get these oppressors to vote for her now? Here's another one. This is her. This is Jasmine Crockett in 23.
In fact, Ms. Perry, I know your organization, the Heritage Foundation, loves Texas. Ooh, they love Texas. They always sending us some nonsense bills that somehow set this country on the wrong trajectory. They send them to Texas. They send them to Florida. Every deplorable state that we can think about, they usually coming out of y'all's think tank.
Okay, did you hear what she said? She just called Texas a deplorable state. So she's saying she thinks her own state is deplorable? Is that what she's saying? She's kind of like that idiot that was running in that special election in Nashville, that hated Nashville. She hates Texas. Right. Who's a draft dodger? I don't know who you're talking about. Who's a draft dodger? Here's another one. Here's Jasmine Crockett on taxes. Listen to this.
Just this past week, I saw, I don't remember which celebrity, but it was actually a celebrity, and I was like, I don't know if that's not necessarily a bad idea, but I'd have to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is black folk not have to pay taxes for a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in your pocket.
Wow. So she's advocating for black people not to have to pay taxes. So if I get one of those DNA tests and find out that I'm like 5% black, I've never had one of those, would I not have to pay taxes forever?
Just this past week, I saw, I don't remember which celebrity, but it was actually a celebrity, and I was like, I don't know if that's not necessarily a bad idea, but I'd have to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is black folk not have to pay taxes for a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in your pocket, but at the same time, it may not be as objectionable to some people about actually giving out dollars. But obviously then you start dealing with the different tax brackets and things like that. And that's one of the reasons that, we argue the reparations make sense, because so many black folk, not only do you owe for the labor that was stolen and killed and all the other things, right? But the fact is, like, we end up being so far behind, right? And so it's like, how do you bring...
Keep in mind, she's rich. She grew up going to a private school. Her family's rich, okay? She was rich before she went to Congress. Her family's rich, sent her to private school, but she's trying to act all poor.
We end up being so far behind, right? And so it's like, how do you bring force people. Exactly. And so it's like if you do the no tax thing, for people that are already, say, struggling and aren't really paying taxes in the first place, it doesn't really exactly.
They may want those checks like they got
exactly.
Oh my goodness. She just doesn't get it. Here she is in her announcement speech for her Senate run yesterday.
When Texas turns blue, it won't be
good luck
because of any one candidate, but because of each and every one of you doing your part. Turning Texas blue is what I want to talk to y'all about today. Now, there are those that say, ain't no way, we done tried it 50 kinds of ways. Let me be clear, y'all ain't never tried it the JC way.
JC, she's JC now.
We used to telling us what I can't do, but they have no idea what Crockett's crew will do. And so I just want to be clear, for all the haters in the back, listen up real loud. We gonna get this thing done.
The JC way. Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now I wanted to share this. I didn't get a chance to play this morning. Okay. This was Rob Finnerty on Newsmax talking about Ilhan Omar. He goes through the whole thing. When she first came to Congress, her net worth was like $65,000. The white guy she's married to is her third husband.
To a new person, a white guy named Tim. There's Tim Minette. And Tim is not a rich man, but now he is.
Yeah, he is.
Tim's rich now because somehow over the course of the last 3 years, Ilhan Omar's net worth has skyrocketed to over $30 million and counting, meaning she went from having right around $65,000 to $30 million in 3 years.
Wow.
Think about that. Powerball drawing is tonight. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Ilhan Omar did not win the lottery. Bernie Madoff was cheating, and he still wasn't doing that well. That is a 46,000% increase in less than 3 years. Now, how do you suppose that happened? Do you really expect us all to believe that she just played the stock market like she's got a great investor and they just got kind of lucky over the course of the Biden presidency? And why are we the only ones asking these questions tonight?
That's right.
So once again, where did Ilhan Omar get all that money, and why is she trying to make Americans feel bad for Somalian criminals?
Those are great questions. Oh my goodness. Those are very good questions. If you're new to my channel, guys, make sure you subscribe. My name is Brian if you're new, and this is where MAGA comes to talk, friends. Are you going to be watching the Trump rally? The Trump speech is scheduled at 6:10. I hope he's kind of on time. You know, when he goes to these speeches, there's so many people that want to meet him and shake his hand. Plus, he's dealing with running the country and the world, so hopefully he'll be on by 6:30. Oh, it's going to be a good one. It's supposed to be on the economy. And, you know, at the beginning of the stream here, I filled my wife's car up with gas today. It cost less than $30. It was really low on gas. Less than $30 to fill my wife's car up. Gas prices are so low here in Florida. And I can't tell you the last time it cost so little to fill up the car with gas. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a long time. And it felt great. And then I got those steaks yesterday for 35% off. So I'm pretty excited. I mean, the economy is coming back. Gas prices are down. Food prices are down. Things are going well. Well, guys, I'm going to take off. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.